It's time for tonight's UPMC game-changing play of the day.
All right, the game-changing play of the game, at least for me, would be right before halftime when Doc Hodges goes back to pass, driving a rainstorm. They're in the game at this point, and then he gets strip sack, leads to a touchdown by Justice Hill. Excuse me, those are the plays of the game-changing play from UPMC. Now we're talking about hockey. The Penguins are red hot, could be a Stanley Cup contending team. Jason Mackey, the future of Matt Murray is what?
Well, I mean, I would really hope that Jim Rutherford would hang on to him the rest of this season, and I do think that Jim will. I know there's going to be talk that you have two goalies. You can certainly trade one of them and get something back. Don't. And you saw that in 2017 with Marc-Andre Fleury and Matt Murray, and how much you need two good goalies. And I would not sell on Matt Murray right now. I liked what he did in the third period Saturday against Nashville. That was vintage Matt Murray. And I've liked what Tristan Jarry has done so far, too. But there is the possibility that balloon could burst. You never know when an injury might hit. Nobody knows that more than Murray. I like the Stanley Cup experience he has, and I would just hang on to him, ride it out, at least for this year.
Yeah, I mean, if things continue as they are right now, this is leading down the almost certain path of replicating what we had with Fleury and Murray, although there isn't quite the age gap between these two goalies, if any, that there was then. And that come expansion draft time, Jim Rutherford can decide to make a move with the new Seattle franchise, who will undoubtedly be looking for a centerpiece goaltender to build their franchise around, much like Vegas was a couple years ago. So that's what makes the most sense to me. You hold on to Matt Murray until, like you said, Jason, the end of the season, and then see where you've gone to that point with each of these two guys, and if Tristan Jarry has really solidified.
Yeah, I think we're getting way ahead of ourselves here, boys. I think that I would make a large bet if I could, and believe me, there are a lot of places, Bob, where you can do those kind of things now. I talk about a few of them for a living. I think that Matt Murray will absolutely be their game one of the playoffs goaltender. I think most goaltending experts will tell you that any NHL goaltender can get hot for about 1,000 shots. It's like a 3,000 shot volume if you can do it for like 3 months or 50 games where you really make your bones and prove that you can do it. So I think that we might be seeing Tristan Jarry just flash in the pan. A guy that just gets hot for an amount of time, and I get it, he's got pedigree.
That's a 2-month flash in the pan,
well,
Tony.
But it's happened a lot in hockey. We've seen.
I got no problem riding that flash in the pan all the way to a cup final if I can.
Yeah, and it's
I'm just not banking on it. I'm not banking on it.
I mean, it's a lot of the team in front of him. The Penguins are playing an extremely responsible style right now. They're scoring goals. They're not giving up a lot of high-danger chances, and it's kind of an unfortunate circumstance for Murray.
The Penguins got beat one year because, for whatever reason, Yaroslav Halak got hot, and they benched Carey Price in Montreal, one of the best goaltenders of this generation. So guys at certain times get hot. I'm just saying Jarry is peaking, I think, in December. And there are so many games to go that I'm not even interested at all in trading Matt Murray, because I'm of the belief that very soon Tristan Jarry is going to turn back into Tristan Jarry and be just a backup goaltender.
Yeah, but as you said, he has pedigree. It's good to have two young goaltenders pushing each other, and I think that's a good thing moving forward for this team. He is a restricted free agent. You wonder how much money that side would want, and that'll certainly play a factor here moving forward. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about Ohio State and what happened last night. Some say they got jobbed. We'll find out what this panel says. It's all coming up next right here on KDKA-TV.